Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to Anime King, and today I'm going to be giving you part 28 of What If Naruto Had Multiple People Sealed Inside of Him. Remember to get this one to 100 like as usual, share this to all of your friends in social media platform, and also stay in tune. I'm going to be giving you a new episode of What If Kaguya Was Naruto's Mother later on. And over on Anime King 2, I'm going to be giving you What If Izuna Uchiha Was Naruto's Ancestor. So stay in tune for that, and I hope you guys enjoy. And I'm also going to be giving you What If Naruto Rebuild the Uzumaki clan. So stay in tune for that as well, guys. And remember, if you're new and this is the first time hearing my voice and you enjoy the videos on both Anime King and Anime King 2, go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and your support, guys. And yeah, without further ado, let's begin this new episode. Start the intro.
I think the girls with their nails done now. Girls with their nails done. I think the girls with their
So, the last time we left off, Naruto, along with Chao, Hinata, Shikamaru and Choji headed off to get Sasuke. As Sasuke was in the barrel, as he was being taken to Orochimaru, he also got a new curse mark. As Naruto's teammates stayed behind and took care of the enemy, as Naruto headed off, as he met Sasuke at the Valley of the End. As Sasuke emerged from the barrel, thinking that he was strong enough to take on Naruto, as the both of them started a battle, and Sasuke started to get knocked back pretty easily, as Naruto then brought out his Pachio card, as he pulled out two guns and started shot them at Sasuke, telling him to dance as he shoot them at his feet as Sasuke jumped up and down, as Naruto then shot Sasuke in both arms, and kicked him right in the face as Sasuke slammed against a wall, as Naruto pointed his gun at Sasuke's head, but Madara then appeared as he started to suck Sasuke away in a swirling vortex, as Naruto fired one last shot that hit Sasuke right in the groin, destroying his future to have any kids, as Madara then turned his sights on Naruto, as Naruto quickly jumped away avoiding him, as Naruto then used one of his special attacks as he fired an arrow as Madara quickly sucked away in a swirling vortex, as the arrow completely destroyed Madara's statue that they were standing on, as Madara then came and took Kabuto's body. So it seems like Orochimaru is back with the Akatsuki. And with that, Kakashi came and Naruto and him headed off. When they head back to Konoha, we had a small time skip as they were in the council room explaining everything, as Naruto told them that he will tell them everything what happened 20 years ago, as he then made Neji and all of the members of the Fuhen clan came, as he made all of them swear not to tell anyone, as a mark came on their chest so they couldn't break this, as Eva then started to tell them all about the Light Maker a long time ago, the mages on Earth. The humans hated the mages with power, so the Light Maker decided to create a world for the mages that they could live in peace and harmony, but their physical bodies couldn't go there, so he sealed away their bodies in crystal, and he brought their mind into the illusion world. But some of the mages didn't want to go, so they stayed on Earth. But years after, the humans found them again, so they came to the illusion world where the Light Maker and the other mages were. But the illusion world was slowly collapsing as the Light Maker wanted to find a way to keep it sustained. But the humans found out where they were. So yeah guys, that was basically the last part we left off. You guys can switch across the place and check it out for yourself. So let's start this new episode. After years upon years of war, which Light Maker brought, the humans, most of them were not even that bad, said Neji. We were on most of the human side, but the Light Maker wanted everyone in the world to be in his illusion, and we couldn't stand for that. So we created a group called the Red Wings, and it took a long time, but we were able to get strong enough as we took on the Light Maker. me, Eva, Asuna, Chao, and the others. Seeing that he was losing, the Lightmaker decided to tear it all down as he tried to merge himself and absorb all of the power in his illusion world. But it went unstable, and the unstable energy was demonic power, and that transferred into yokai. And that is how the first Biju was born, the Jubi, as all of the power came together and created that beast. We saw that Jubi was pure destruction, so all of us came together, Eva said, as we used ourselves to seal the Jubi away. We succeeded, and the Jubi had slept for over 10,000 years before it was awakened by the person you now know as the Sage of Six Paths, who sealed it into himself, gaining the Rinnegan in the process. When the Sage of Six Paths was near his death, he bestowed the Sharingan on his oldest and control over all of his energy for his youngest, making him the heir. Thus appeared the first Uchiha and Senju. After this, the Sage of Six Paths used his creation ability to split the Jubi into 9 pieces, and we were sealed away inside the 9 tails, seeing that it holds the strongest power. But the Sage of Six Paths left behind some yokai. That is what Madara found. It was in an orb. That is what he used to summon the 9 tails at the Valley of the End. There, it was stolen from him by Mito Uzumaki, Hoshirama Senju's wife, and she sealed it into herself. As Naruto then took over, later on, before Mito died, she passed on the 9 tails to another Uzumaki, my mother, Kushina Uzumaki. And 12 years ago, Madara appeared and stole the orb from my mother and summoned the fox. He then used his Mangekyo Sharingan to summon her and make her attack the village. And the 4th Hokage stole the orb back and sealed it inside of me along with the Kyuubi. But Madara is still around, said Hinata. He has created an organization that is made up of S-rank missing nins, all of them with the purpose of gathering the Bijus for unknown purposes. But we do know that the official leader of the Akatsuki possessed the Rinnegan. When we were hunting down Sasuke, a beast appeared in the forest, a multiple-headed dog, and it possessed the Rinnegan. We also know that Itachi Uchiha is part of the Akatsuki, said Naruto the Smirk, and he is our spy. But Itachi wiped out, Hayashi said. Itachi was ordered by Sarutobi to kill a portion of the clan that was planning a coup. I'm sure you remember how things were tense a few years back. But that bastard Fukaku had a similar plan, killing the ones in his clan that opposed his coup. It happened at the same time, and by coincidence Madara appeared and killed the rest of them that same night. And we believe that the Akatsuki may need Orochimaru's help for 2 reasons. 1. They may need another Sharingan user, and they know that Sasuke won't work alongside Itachi. So they will have Orochimaru in Sasuke's body. And 2. They need the rings. Rings? Said Shikaku. The technique the Akatsuki used to seal away the Biju require 10 mediums in the form of rings. Because of this, there can only be 10 Akatsuki members at the same time, said Anko. And when Orochimaru defected from their group, he took the ring with him. But I'm certain that they don't need 10 rings to seal away a Biju, but with all of them working together, it will be faster. The real reason they want Orochimaru's ring back is because they lost 2 when we killed Zetsu and Kisame over a month ago. These rings, said Naruto as he pulled out the 2 rings. But what they don't know is that Orochimaru no longer has his ring, but a very convincing replica, as he then pulled out a 3rd ring. Won't they notice the difference? Shibi asked. Unless they try to use them to seal a Biju, I doubt it. And they're taking a break from that for 3 years or so, said Naruto. Will Orochimaru really use a crippled body? Asked Hayashi. He only wants the Sharingan to copy Jutsu. 1 eye is enough for that. He can replace the damaged one with a normal eye or some experiments. As for not being able to procreate, well, it's Orochimaru, and he must change bodies every 3 years. But right now he has to wait for another 3 years to take Sasuke's body since his time was already up. And he already took on another body and he has to wait. In other words, we need to be wary of Akatsuki in 3 years, Hayashi said. Wrong. We need to wipe them out in 3 years, Negi said. Itachi will remain in the Akatsuki for a short period of time. When he returns to Konoha, he will take over the Uchiha clan. With that, we will have 4 rings and information on the other 6, said Chao. I still don't get one thing. If you seal yourself inside the Kyuubi, how are you here now? Choza asked. The Kyuubi took all of our souls, and the Kyuubi end up in Naruto, said Asuna. And after sharing our abilities with Naruto, he managed to create physical bodies for us to put our soul inside of it. Oh shucks, I know I'm awesome. You don't need to praise me, said Naruto with a smirk. At any rate, our current objective is wiping out the Akatsuki. That would be all, said Eva. And with that, the meeting was over. Later that night, Naruto was in the Fuhen compound as he was in his mindscape with 100 clones, as he was thinking of various ways to take on Pain or Nagato that has the Rinnegan. How? God damn it, how, he said as he lost his temper. Hey, boss, chill, said one of the clones. Do you want me to hit you? Naruto said. Let's take this logically, okay? Said the clone. Alright, let's start over, said Naruto, as he dispelled all the clones and then made one. Let's see now, what does Nagato and the Sage of Six Paths have in common? They both have the Rinnegan, or at least the same, similar dojutsu. Also, both of them seem to be connected to the Biju, said the clone. The Sage of Six Paths gained the Rinnegan by becoming the Jinchuriki of the Kyuubi, and Nagato must want the 9 Bijus for something. Maybe his Rinnegan is a failed version and he wants to fix it by becoming a Jinchuriki, said the clone. Nah, said Naruto, it still doesn't explain how did Nagato get the Rinnegan. The chances of him being just born with that is unknown. It must be an outside factor. Well, the only theories we have right now, said the clone, is that either those eyes belong to the Sage of Six Paths or someone implanted them inside of Nagato. They couldn't have been preserved that long, said Naruto. Wait, said Naruto. I need to check something as he dispelled the clone. As he went out, Kyuubi, Kushina, as he saw them at the terrace. Huh? Something wrong, Naruto? The Kyuubi asked. It might be. I need to find out something. Meet me at the seal, he said. As Minato came out, what's wrong? As Naruto walked off, he said to meet him at the seal, said Kushina, as the 3 of them headed off behind him. Soon enough, all of them were standing before the cage. So, what's the problem? Asked Kushina. You said that the orb of yokai that Madara took from the seal was used to summon the Kyuubi, and it was sealed inside me as well. Where is it? I need to see it, said Naruto. It's in the cage, I'll get it for you, she said, as the Kyuubi walked through the bars. As she then came back, she had a glowing crimson orb the size of a basketball in her hand. Here, she said as she gave it to Naruto. Do you recognize it? Naruto asked as he looked at Kushina. Yes, without a doubt. This was a version that Mito-sama passed on to me, said Kushina. I see, said Naruto, as he activated his Sharingan along with the Byakugan. Huh? Is there something wrong? Asked the Kyuubi. We need to assemble everyone back at the castle. I'll explain then, said Naruto as he slowly walked back to the castle. About a half an hour later, all of the Fuhen clan was in the castle meeting room. Many of them was annoyed that they were dragged out of their sleep into the mindscape. What is this about, Naruto? A pissed off Tsunade asked. I recently discovered something of great importance and I think all of you should be notified immediately. I was thinking about the reason why Nagato, the leader of the Akatsuki, has the Rinnegan. I thought that he may have gained it the same way the Sage of Six Paths did, by becoming a Jinchuriki. But no other Jinchuriki gained the Rinnegan by becoming a vessel. And I would have had the highest chance of gaining the Rinnegan, seeing that the Kyuubi is the closest to the Kyuubi. True, that is quite interesting, but I don't understand where this is going, said Negi. What if it's not the power level that will grant the vessel the Rinnegan, but the energy signature and the properties, said Naruto. You mean the remains of the Kyuubi yokai don't you? Eva said. But it's sealed in you. You saw it earlier, said Kushina. You mean this, said Naruto, as he placed the orb on the table for all of them to see. Well, it's here. So what else could it be? Ino asked. It's only partially here, said Naruto. Allow me to make it visible. As he placed both of his hands on the orb, as the yokai started to twist. When it was finished, it left behind an almost empty sphere. What? Said Asuna. Impossible, said Negi. It was destroyed with the light maker. This is the globe of the great Grandmaster Key. How is it still existing? Negi said. It is just 15% here. That means someone may have the rest of the globe and the rest of the Grandmaster Key, said Naruto. Do you have any idea where the rest is? This is a very powerful object, said Eva. This is the one he used to create the illusion world. I wonder who has it. Well, for starters, I believe that the remainder of this globe is inside of Nagato and it triggered the Rinnegan in him, said Naruto. As for how it got there, Madara, said Tsunade. He had it last before it was sealed away into my grandmother. He must have split it before the battle with Hoshirama. And by the time the Kyuubi attacked Konoha, Nagato already had the Rinnegan. And seeing that Madara is a real leader of the Akatsuki behind the scenes, it only makes more sense. Yeah, it must have been Madara. But what about the rest of the key? Said Uncle. The rest of the part must be sealed inside the remaining Bijou, said Naruto, as he glanced at Nibi, the Ichibai, and the Kyuubi. Naruto, give me that for a moment. I know how to activate its ability and reveal the other keys in the vicinity, Nadaka said, as she took the globe and started to put both hands on it. Soon enough, a glow appeared on the Nibi's stomach and the Ichibai, but none from Kurama. Does that mean I don't have one? The Kyuubi asked. It means you do not have it anymore, said Naruto, as he pointed towards the cage where a weak glow was coming from it. It seems like you left it behind. Why? Asked Nibi. I mean, me and Ichibai also had to slip through the cage within Gaara and Yujito. I don't know, let's go and see. Maybe we could merge that piece with this one, said Naruto, as they all walk over to the cage. Well, the glow seemed to be coming from inside, said Chachimaru. Let's bring it closer, said Kushina, as Kushina released chains from her arms, as it went in the cage and wrapped around the glow, as she then pulled it towards her, as she saw the key coming towards them. But before he could go through the bar, a white energy with some dark lightning came down and melted Kushina's chains. What the hell just happened? She said. Apparently, it cannot leave the cage. The seal prevents it. But what I want to know is why Yokai is maintaining the seal, said Naruto. What? Said Tsunade. No doubt about it. It is also Ryuko and Yokai, said Chao. Kyuubi, can you show us a projection of what you remember of the ceiling? Naruto asked. Sure, said the Kyuubi, as she looked up, as a projection of what happened that night came up. They saw Minato summon the Shinigami. Once it had a grasp on half of the Kyuubi, as it sucked half of the yokai and merged with Minato's soul. They then saw the Kyuubi that was still hypnotized try to kill Naruto, but it was stopped by Minato and Kushina, and the memory ended. As Naruto lowered his head, as they all thought he was crying, "You stupid, stupid bastard," Naruto said. As he then lifted up his head, "You idiot bastard, Minato," he screamed, as everyone was blasted away from him, as the darkness consumed him, as wings and a tail and claws appeared, as the power started to increase. "Calm down, Naruto," said Asuna, as all of them rushed over and hugged him, trying to calm him down. As the claws and tails and everything started to recede back into his body, as he took a deep breath in and out. "Why did you blow your top like that?" said Naruto. "It's because of Minato. The way he sealed the Kyuubi inside of me," he said. "He stole from the Shinigami. Not only did he steal a portion of the Kyuubi's yokai, he also stole a part of the Shinigami's hand. So, is there some consequences? Asks Navi. I'm 99% sure that once me, Kushina, the Kyuubi, and everyone that was sealed in her died, we will all be joining Minato in the Shinigami stomach. And what's the other 1%? Anko asks. We could get our souls completely destroyed and erased from existence, said Naruto. Time skip. Naruto was in the same era where he released Eva. Finally, it's time, said Kushina. We can get out of here. If you're happy, imagine how I feel, said the Kyuubi. Enough chit-chat, Naruto need to focus, said Mikato. Alright, let's begin. Several hours later, the group, with Kushina, Mikato, and the Kyuubi, were approaching the gates of Konoha, having split up from Naruto so they could enter legally. He, in the meantime, was in Tsunade's office, waiting for them to come so they could sign a few documents. Well, I must admit it's great to walk under the open skies again, said the Kyuubi. I've been awake in Naruto's mindscape for only a few weeks, but it was still boring to just sit around the castle, either training or reading, said Kushina. I've not been awake for too long, but considering that Fukaku forbid me to leave the house for several months before the massacre, said Mikato with a sigh. Want me to use the Edo Tensei so you can beat him up? The Kyuubi offered. No thanks, maybe later after Itachi returned, Mikato said. The group then heard conflict nearby. Kushina, Mikato said. As Kushina closed her eyes, as she released her sensory type ability, there is 21 chakra signatures. 3 of them are cage level, 9 of them are Jonin, and the rest are high Chunin. But amongst the cage level 1, 2 of them had yokai in their chakra coils. So they're either Jinchuriki or have some jutsu that they use to absorb chakra from Jinchuriki. As they took out their Pachio cards, we don't have any equipment on us for the moment, so it would be best to use these, said Mikato. As 3 swords materialized in their hands, as they sprinted towards the sounds of battle. When they arrived, they were surprised. They expected to see some ninjas, or Akatsuki or something like that. But there was a group from the stone including the Tsuchikage, and ninjas from the stone that included Gaara and his siblings, and the Elder Cho. Each group would have a dozen Anvus escorting them, as the Anvus were now fighting each other's while the others were watching each other's. What are they doing? The Kyuubi said. They must be heading to Konoha for some reason. They're too close for anything else, said Mikato. As for why they're fighting, I don't know. It must be to do with something that Oniki ran across a Jinchuriki or a former Jinchuriki, said Kushina. What should we do? They're just outside the range of Konoha Anfu patrol, Mikato pointed out. As much as I like to see them fight, it would look pretty bad if a cage died on Konoha doorstep, said the Kyuubi. They all then felt a spike of chakra as they looked towards Oniki, as he had a transparent cube in his hand with a glowing white spear inside. However, just as the old cage was about to release the attack, an intense killing intent crashed upon all of them. Oniki looked around as he kept his jutsu in his hands, ready to release the attack on them because this was intense. Who could release that power? That's enough! Everyone stand down now, the Kyuubi ordered, as she and her 2 companions appear in the middle of the battleground. Seeing that no one was listening, Oniki in particular, she tripled her killer intent. I said now, she roared out, causing everyone to tremble, even her companions. That go for you as well, Tsuchikage, unless you want to start a war with Konoha, of course. Kushina told Oniki as his jutsu vanished. Sand ninjas, why are you here? Asked Mikato. We are heading to Konoha to discuss the alliance between the Sand and Konoha, as we agreed beforehand. Or rather, renewing the alliance, said Gaara, as he looked at the Kyuubi curiously. I see, said Kushina. I was not informed of this. The agreement was for us to arrive 2 weeks from now, but the recent information provided by Jiraiya of the Sannin convinced us that doing this sooner would be better, Gaara explained. I see, and the pervert forgot to tell us. He's probably peeping in some bathhouse as we speak, said Kushina. What about you, Stone Ninja? Especially you, Oniki-sama. At your age, I wouldn't think you were just out here to see the sights, said the Kyubey. Funny, very funny, said Oniki, as he narrowed his eyes further. In fact, we're here to discuss some information given to us by a Konoha ninja some time ago. You mean what Naruto told you about the Akatsuki? Said Kushina. Yes, I did not know this was common knowledge, said Oniki. Being part of the same clan give you the chance to hear things, said the Kyubey. By the way, the stone got involved in the Akatsuki plan big time recently. What do you mean? Asked Oniki. Deidara joined the organization, Mikoto said. What? Said Oniki. Let's go to the Hokage's tower and we can discuss things there, Kushina suggested. That's an excellent idea, said Gaara. Lead the way, said Oniki, as the three of them headed towards Konoha with the two groups following them. Naruto, we ran into some trouble, said Kushina as she contacted Naruto. What? What happened? Are you okay? Naruto asked. We're fine. We ran into a group from the sand and one from the stone that were fighting. Apparently, the stone ninjas are here to talk to Tsunade about the Akatsuki, and the sand ninjas are here for the alliance. Gaara is here already, said Naruto. Yeah, he is siblings, some granny and 6 Anbu, said Kushina. Damn. Alright, I will send a few shadow clones to create room for them. What about the stone ninjas? Naruto asked. Surprisingly enough, Oniki is here himself. He has a Jonin, a Chunin, and 6 Anbu, and an old guy with red hair. He is a Jinchuriki, said Kushina. A Jinchuriki? Do you have any idea who he holds? Naruto asked the Kyubey. Either the Yanbai, the Gobei, or the Nanabi, the Kyubey replied. The Sanbai and the Rokibai are in Kiri, and the Hatsubi is in Kumo. I think it's either Yanbai or Gobei, since he doesn't have the high chakra to contain the Nanabi, she pointed out. Well, I'll have Ichibai and Nanabai stay out of sight in case he could detect them. Also, I will ask Negi Asuna to be at the tower as well, along with Eva, in case we need to subdue him. See you soon, said Naruto as he ended the mind conversation. About 10 minutes later, the large group reached Konoha gates as they stopped in front of the two Chunin guards. Good day, we were informed of your arrival. Kyu Fuhen, Kushina Fuhen, and Mikoto Fuhen, leading an envoy of shinobis from the sand and the stone. Izumo read from a clipboard. How did you know of our arrival? Hisaki asked. Now, you should know better than to make a shinobi reveal his secrets, Kotetsu said. As the group was then led into Konoha. As they did, they got quite a few glares, while mostly the stone ninjas, seeing that Konoha and the stone was heated ever since the 3rd Great Shinobi War. As they were nearing the Hokage's tower, a man jumped down from the roof. As he went through hand sign, fire style, fireball jutsu. Die, stone scum, he said, as Kushina sighed, as Mikoto stepped in front of the fireball, as she activated her Mangekyo Sharingan. Amaterasu, she said, as the black flames eat away the regular flames. As the ninja stared at Mikoto in shock, as Kushina then disappeared and appeared in front of him and punched him right in the gut, knocking him out. As two Konoha Anfus came from the roof as they grabbed the fallen ninja. Well, let's go, said Kushina, as they headed for the tower. When they arrived at the tower, they were instructed to go to Tsunade's office, as the rest of the Anfus that came along with the group went off, as it was just Onki and his main guards, also Gaara and his siblings and Cho. When they entered the office, they saw 3 shadow clones of Tsunade was doing the paperwork. Sarutobi was chatting with Negi and Naruto, while Eva and Asuna was watching the original Tsunade shouting at a heavily bandaged Jiraiya. And what the hell were you thinking, not telling me that the Sand ambassadors were coming sooner? You have enough time to peep inside of all of the bathhouse, but you don't have enough time to send a messenger toad? Wait until Kushina get her hands on you. I hope she still remember the time that you, as Kushina cleared her throat. Thank you for reminding me, Tsunade. I almost forgot about that, Kushina said, as she glared at Jiraiya. As Jiraiya looked at Naruto with a pleading face. Don't look at me, I'm not helping you, he said. As Jiraiya turned and looked at Kushina, who was glaring at him as she stepped forward, as he quickly jumped through the window. "Don't worry," said Asuna. "I already tagged him with a tracker," as Kushina smiled and nodded. As Tsunade then cleared her throat as she looked at the others, as all of them greeted her, except for Oniki, who was staring at the Shadow Clones. "Oi, Oniki," Sarutobi said as he held his hand out like he was expecting to get something. Oniki looked at him at his open palm as he sighed and took out his wallet and gave Sarutobi 2,000 Ryu. "Annoying old monkey, fine, you win on both accounts. The secret for paperwork and retiring before me. When I get home, I'm learning that damn Shadow Clone Jutsu as well." "So, you make Hokage, slug girl," said Chiyo as she shook Tsunade's hand. "Nice to see you as well, you old prune," said Tsunade with a twitch eyebrow. "At least I'm not hiding my age behind a genjutsu," said Chiyo. "Oh, but who said I'm using a genjutsu?" said Tsunade with a smirk. "You may not have heard, but when I returned to Konoha, I joined the Fuhen clan. I am sure that you at least know that one of the bloodlines give us eternal youth." "You don't say," said Chiyo as she narrowed her eyes. But everyone then turned as Roshi grabbed his head, as yokai started to leak out of him. "What's wrong? Calm down, old man, we don't want to put you down, but we will if you lose control of your Biju," said Asuna as she summoned her huge blade. "No, it's just that he's trying to say something about the blonde girl and vampires," Roshi said, as he regained control. "Tell him to calm down," said Negi, as Naruto sealed the room. "We're not going to hurt him. He's saying that he's a she, and that idiot Negi shouldn't be telling her to calm down," said Roshi. "What is she saying?" said Naruto. "She's saying something about the Jubi, and Negi, and Asuna, and Eva." "Alright, tell her to calm down before I drain her blood and turn her into one of my minions," said Eva, as Roshi instantly returned back to normal. "Huh, she's whimpering now." "Oh brother," said Naruto. "Hey, old man, what's your name?" "My name is Roshi, and before you ask, I hold the four-tailed monkey." "Do you know the Shadow Clone?" the Kyuubi asked. "Yes, I did pick up that jutsu some time ago," said Roshi. "Perfect, here's what I want you to do. Tell the Yonbai to take a human form inside of her prison and then use her yokai to make a clone while focusing on her," said the Kyuubi. As Roshi looked at Oniki. "Do it," said Oniki. As Roshi created a clone, as he pumped the yokai in it, as a red-haired girl appeared, as the girl instantly looked at Negi and jumped on him and gave him a big hug. "Anya?" said Negi. "What? The brat? I didn't see that coming," said Naruto. "Can someone please tell me what's going on here?" asked Tsunade. "Not really. We will have to find out first," said Naruto as he pulled Nadaka Pachio card. As a book appeared in front of Naruto. "Girl," he said, gaining Anya's attention. "What's your name?" "My name is Anya Kokolova," as her name appeared in the book. "Hey, that is Nadaka artifact. How the hell can you use it?" the girl asked as she looked at Naruto. "Forget that, we can talk later," said Naruto. "She's telling the truth," he announced to the entire room. "I do not understand. I thought you said that Bijus do not take human names out of principle," said Gaara. "I don't get it either," Oniki said. "Well, when the first Biju was born, the Jubi, a lot of people died and was absorbed by it. Apparently, not all of their souls passed on. And apparently, when the Sage of Six Paths split the Jubi into 9, Anya's soul took over the Yonbai." "Not the entire time," said Anya. "I only became conscious when I was first sealed into a human. Before then, the spirit of the monkey that the Sage of Six Paths gave, he was in control. But now I am in full control," she said. "Huh, who would have thought?" Naruto said, amused. "We can talk about this later, after we talk about the original issues you guys brought," Tsunade said, as she looked at Oniki and Gaara. "We're here to reinforce our alliance, since my foolish father messed up things so badly," Gaara said. "We're here to talk about a peace treaty, and the Akatsuki as well," said Oniki. "I must be hearing things," said Sarutobi, as he started cleaning his ear with his pinky. "Did you just say peace treaty?" "I did, you old monkey," said Oniki. "We need to discuss this with the councils," said Tsunade. "Correction, we need to discuss this with your council," I have the backing of my entire council, said Oniki. We have as well, said Chiyo. Fine, let's head for the council chambers, Tsunade said, as Kushina and Mikoto and the Kyuubi signed some papers as they joined the Fuhen clan. About 10 minutes later, the large group entered the council chamber, where the clan heads were already waiting. Let's get down to business, said Tsunade as everyone sat down. We can start with the alliance with the Sand, as we were already prepared with that. This is a document, said Chiyo, as she gave Tsunade a scroll. It is nearly a copy of the previous alliance, with a few tweaks here and there. Yes, everything seems in order, said Tsunade as she read through it. Her eyes then fell on the final thing as she looked up at Chiyo. Political marriage, she said. Political marriage, said Naruto. Yes, just like our previous treaty, where we sent a Konoha Kunoichi to the Sand, they are sending one here, Tsunade explained. I see, said Naruto. The Sand has decided that Temari, the daughter of the late 4th Kazekage, will marry into Konoha, said Lady Chiyo. Everyone looked at Temari as she stepped forward and bowed slightly. She looked uncomfortable, but she agreed to it. It was for the village. So the child of a cage must be forced once again to pay for his or her father's mistake, Naruto thought. Well, we need to decide on a proper groom for this marriage, Tsunade pointed out. Well, if you have nominations for Temari's age, please speak up now, said Tsunade. I nominate my nephew, Neji Hyuga, Hayashi spoke up. Nearly everyone in the room who knew Neji grimaced. He was not husband material, that was for sure, as Temari's eyes were filled with horror. I nominate Shikamaru Nara, said Inoichi. The reactions were better this time, but Shikaku was giving his old teammate an annoyed look for getting him involved with something that has to do with a lot of paperwork and talking that was really troublesome. I nominate Naruto Uzumaki. Namikaze Fuhen, Hiruzen spoke up from his position of council advisor. As Naruto looked at Sarutobi with a confused look on his face, what the hell was he trying to do? Are there any other nominations, Tsunade asked. Well then, as no one said anything, we shall vote on it. Shouldn't Temari have a say in this as well? Anya spoke up, drawing everyone's attention to her. And who are you? Hayashi asked. She's leaving, said Negi. This spell and we will talk later, as she nodded as she poofed away. She has a point though, said Naruto. I agree, said Tsunade. In favor of Neji Hyuga, Tsunade called out, but only Hayashi raised his hand. Sorry Hyuga, your cage bird seal is not very attractive for any future mother, Naruto said, as Hayashi glared at him. Any favor for Shikamaru Nara, said Tsunade. This time, Inoichi and Chosa raised their hands, as Shikaku just narrowed his eyes at them. They were getting him into a lot of work. Alright, in favor for Naruto Uzumaki, Namikaze Fuhen, said Tsunade, as Sarutobi, Shikaku, Shibi, Tasumi, Hanzaki, Tsunade, and Temari raised their hand. As Naruto chuckled, where do I need to sign, he asked. Here, said Tsunade as she showed him a scroll, and in a few seconds they were done. So Temari, when will you be moving into the compound? Naruto asked. As soon as you want me to, said Temari. I have already said my goodbyes to the few friends I have back in the Sand, and the things I want to bring with me are already in these scrolls, she said. Today it is then, said Naruto. Well now, let's move on to the reason why Oniki is here, said Tsunade. The reason that is in light of new events, more officially, the Akatsuki and others, Oniki said. As he glanced at Naruto, the stone has come to a conclusion that holding old grudges will not do us any good. So we want to make a peace with Konoha. Why Konoha, if I may ask? Asked Shikaku. We've been neutral for the Sand for quite some time. Kumo prefer to stay out of the spotlight unless it is directly threatened. And Kiri is too messed up to be even contact right now. And it is with Konoha most of our disagreements have been, said Oniki. What exactly would this priest treaty involve? Asked Sarutobi. Well, besides the no aggression stuff and the peaceful cooperations, the only point of interest would be having my cousin Roshi here. The container of the fourth tail be transferred to Konoha permanently. and the other thing to seal the deal with the political marriage, Oniki said. And why exactly do you want to surrender your Jinchuriki with us? Asked Hayashi. 3 reasons actually, said Roshi as he spoke up. 1. I retire from shinobi life, and I am no value to the stone right now. Until the Yanbai is extracted and placed into another container. 2. I'm also being targeted by the Akatsuki right now. And 3. In case something nasty happen, Konoha has the means to subdue a Biju, mainly the Mokiton and the Sharingan. I see, said Tsunade. The Yanbai will remain in Konoha permanently, correct? Yes, said Kinsoki. Very well then, we accept, said Tsunade. And what about the marriage, she said. Yes, about that, said Oniki. But guys, and be ending this episode right here. If you want to see the next part of this, you already know what to do. Like, subscribe, comment down below, turn that bell notification stay posted. And stay in tune for the rest of the what ifs coming your way. And I hope you guys enjoy each and every one of them. But for now, I'm out of here. Peace.